guys. Welcome to this week's episode of Concentrated, the podcast about all of the things we find cool and interesting as nerds of color. Before I get into our introductions, what the fuck are you two laughing at?
I'm
Nothing.
looking.
I was just thinking you're supposed to stop at two, and then you do the silent two, and then the one, but it's all silent.
I was laughing at Eric.
Oh my God. Okay, well, look, I am here. I'm your host, Maria. As usual, I'm here with Ding Dongs 1 and 2, the lovely Manera.
Hey, I don't want to be Ding Dong 1, but I definitely don't want
I
to
was
be
gonna say,
Ding
do we
Dong
have
2.
to have to
You
pick
got to
our
be
own?
Ding Dong 1 and Ding Dong number 2, aka E Glizzy Eater over there, Eric.
Ew.
I do enjoy a hot dog, but
Uh-huh.
I'm no glizzy gladiator. You guys were the ones eating sausage earlier.
Whoa, we were eating charcuterie. There's a difference. Anyway,
Were there
It's
little
sausage.
sausages there?
They sliced it, so it was like, oh, it's not a sausage
like-
because we
It
sliced
was
it.
like, whatever.
She wanted
Anyway,
to use her
guys.
fucking Star Wars cheese plate.
Obviously.
I haven't used it yet, though. I'm waiting for you guys to come over to use it because it needs an audience. It needs attention. Anywho, we're not
It
here to
doesn't
talk
need you
about
guys just playing Magic the Gathering and eating meats and cheeses.
just telling everybody my business. Look, guys, we're not here to talk about any of this.
We
What
are
we're
not,
actually
no.
here to talk about this week is to give you our review of the much anticipated Wonder Woman 1984. Before we get into our thoughts, though, it is time for the Glizzy Gladiator over there to give us his news.
Wonder Woman. Speaking of, that's all my news this week is about Wonder Woman.
Okay.
Before we get into the actual review, just know HBO Max had a record number of new subscribers, and it debuted to 16.7 million in theaters, which is pretty good for a pandemic. I mean,
Right.
I'm not sure if that's global or if that's just American theaters, because there are theaters that are open,
Mhm.
and Wonder Woman was big on opening in theaters and on HBO Max. So that's the first big news because it is now being called a success. And because, overseas Wonder Woman 84 made an additional 19 million.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. And it opened last weekend as well. So now currently it has made 85 million worldwide, which movie
Not bad
has
for a
a
pandemic.
No.
yeah, I was saying the movie itself has a budget of somewhere around 200 million. So it'll be a success pretty quickly, especially if you're not also counting the HBO Max subscriptions, which are like $15 a month.
Mhm.
And they did the smart thing of cutting off their free trial subscription. So if you want to see Wonder Woman 84, you had to subscribe for a full last month. So
I
even if
did.
the numbers dip after this, they still got $15 from, millions of people.
Mhm.
Yeah.
The other news, since because it's technically a success already, they have greenlit a sequel with Gal Gadot and Patty Jenkins coming back as director and star.
We'll get into
So
that.
we'll have a
Right,
third
right,
Wonder
right.
Woman.
We'll talk
Um,
about that later.
Not sure if it's gonna, jump to a different time period, or if they're finally gonna catch Wonder Woman up to the rest of the DCEU, wherever the fuck that currently is, because no one knows what's happening after Aquaman and Shazam. So that's really all my news. There's nothing else big going on, except for the controversy out of the Golden Globes about the Stephen Yeun movie, Minara. Apparently the movie got
Yes.
snuffed at the Golden Globes, and people are really pissed off about it.
Which is
Um,
fair.
Yeah, very fair, because the movie's been hailed by everyone, including last year's Oscar award winner, Bong Joon-ho, who directed Parasite, who has worked with Stephen Yeun in the past on Okja for Netflix. And he was like, he's a man of few words, and he's a very soft-spoken man, but essentially his comments were, this is some bullshit, y'all. So
That's fair.
yeah.
It sounds like it is.
Yep.
So
But if you have a chance to see that, I haven't seen if they're releasing it on streaming services. I know it's on the indie circuits right now, and it opened up, I think, at Toronto International Film Festival, and it's been getting rave reviews. So if it comes your way, check it out. And hopefully it gets nominated for an Oscar, which we should be getting Oscar nominations sometime next month.
Yeah, about to say they
Yeah.
should be coming up pretty soon. I don't know. I feel like the whole movie industry award thing is kind of outdated and overrated. So very rarely do I look to the Oscars or the Golden Globes to tell me what the fuck to watch.
But it
Meh.
still holds some weight in the industry.
Oh,
Yeah,
it
I would
holds a
say
ton of weight, and that's the sad part,
Yeah.
right?
it holds weight, and like most of the time it's bullshit. Like sometimes you get a Green Book winning, and every now and again they honestly listen and they're like, no, Moonlight's good,
Yeah.
Parasite's good, Shape of Water's
Mhm.
good, GDT.
Sir.
Okay, so
Sir.
in the new year, there's
The
going to
Man
be
is
no
an Oscar
GDT
winner.
talk.
Bullshit. When
Whatever.
GDT says I'm retiring, then there'll be no GDT talk. The Man is an Oscar winner. Multiple
No one
Oscar
said he
winner.
wasn't. That's the thing. Like, you always throw out things like, well, but I'm talking about because this. And it's like, no, that's literally
true.
not why we're saying that.
Right.
You're saying
right.
it because you bring him up in any kind of conversation. We could be talking about cheese and you could be like, oh, well, did you know that GDT likes this kind of cheese? And he put
He
it in
might.
this movie because reasons. No, don't stop. Just stop.
He's a hefty man. He has a love for food. I'm sure
See-
cheese falls in there somewhere.
See,
He probably enjoys him a charcuterie plate.
these are the things that we are talking about. This
Nope.
right here.
Nope. If they're gonna have progress, and there needs to be progress. So
We
If
are
you're-
over the GDT talk.
if you're
Next
not
story.
if you're not going to include people of color in your movies or in your I'm wondering more where this sits with the new Oscar with their new regulations, even though that won't go into effect for I think another 2 years.
Yeah.
Right.
If the Golden Globes are shunning a movie like this, what does that say about the Oscars? So
Right.
hopefully they get their shit together and we see it, pop up, at least get some nominations for Oscars.
I hope so.
We'll see.
I mean, but
That's-
you know what?
that's-
But you never know. Just really quickly before we wrap the news, you never know though, because there were so many people that were so pissed off that Parasite won last year. Like there are tons of, like you can go on YouTube right now. There are tons of videos of like snowflake ass white dudes losing their fucking minds because a foreign film won Best Picture. So
But I can't even remember any
What
other
was-
movie from
yeah.
last year that might have knocked it out of the way.
Yeah.
there was one that kept getting referenced.
Is it Little Women?
No, it wasn't Little Women. It was one of the ones that had pretty much an all-white cast. Oh, it was Joker. That's what they were pissed off about.
fuck that movie.
That Parasite
no.
won over Joker. I literally popped popcorn and sat and watched this 45-minute tirade of this white dude on YouTube losing his fucking mind because
No.
film beat out the Joker. So
No.
Oh yeah, I'm looking at the list. For best picture, it was Parasite, 1917, Ford versus Ferrari, Joker, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, The Irishman, Little Women, Marriage Story, and Jojo Rabbit. All good films.
all good films.
Mm-hmm.
Couldn't give a shit about Joker. I loved 1917. I loved Ford versus Ferrari. Did I think they
Jojo
were better?
Rabbit.
Yeah, I love Jojo Rabbit.
I'd say Jojo Rabbit was my next favorite besides Parasite on that list.
Yeah, I would have
I
taken
love
that.
Jojo
And
Rabbit.
even then, I think Jojo Rabbit, while it is an amazing film and very heartfelt and funny, I think Parasite is a better film. It's just something
It
we
is.
hadn't seen before.
Yeah.
And it just so happened to be a Korean film.
Yeah.
Yep.
So fuck anybody who doesn't enjoy it.
Well, all right.
Those are my opinions. You can
And
think
your
Joker was
news.
better. Yeah.
And your news.
And the news.
Yay.
You can think
All
Joker
right.
was better. I think you're wrong.
All right. Well, I can tell you guys right now, don't let the nice beard fool you. You don't want to see him on these streets if you've got something to say about his opinion of Joker.
I say,
And we'll leave it at that.
Speaking of opinions, let's jump into this one.
Let's jump right in. So, us, along with the rest of the world, finally got to see the much, much anticipated Wonder Woman 1984 on Christmas Day. I think that the best place to begin is in the beginning. So let's just talk about kind of like the opening of this movie. What did you guys think of it? What did you guys think that it was like it was off to a good start? Like those first couple of minutes coming into it, did it get you excited for the rest of the film?
The opening was my favorite part of this movie.
It wasn't the first couple of minutes. It was about 15 minutes.
Yeah.
And I enjoyed every minute of that.
This movie is 2.5 hours.
It is.
Ooh.
They did not cut
And
anything.
No, apparently, except for plot points, but we'll get to that later.
Yikes.
No,
Oof.
I too believe that that beginning was my favorite part of the movie.
Yeah, that Themyscira
Mhm.
flashback was great. The young
Yeah,
actress who plays Diana is really
just
good.
getting
She
better.
Yeah, she has a lot of emotion in her face.
Hmm.
We got to
So
see
cute.
Hmm.
When
Hippolyta
hold on,
and
when she was not getting her way and she put on that cute little pouty face,
But
my
you,
heart melted. It
it's,
was so
it's like,
cute.
first of all, Diana, you're 3. Let them other ladies win this. Like, stop
And bitch,
it.
you're a god. Like I'm gonna
she
Right.
need
didn't
you to
know
calm
that.
all the way down. All right.
Yeah, by that point she didn't know. She just wanted to do what all the other cool ladies were doing.
Right, but you're 2 years old. Cool it down. Let that other
I think she was
lady
like
win.
9.
Well,
She barely,
right.
barely. If she was 9, like her birthday was yesterday. 9.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. No, that was my favorite scene of the movie. And
Yeah.
I was hoping, like the first one, where we got a lot more time in Themyscira, but like
Mhm.
after that, that's it. No
Yeah.
more, no more mention of Themyscira except for the Golden Warrior or whatever that we get like 5 seconds of. Nope, nothing. Everything else is 1984. So like after
Yeah.
that scene, I was like, oh,
I liked the mall scene to a point. It got slapsticky very
yes,
fast,
it felt very
and
forced.
I didn't understand why it got so slapsticky.
It did that thing that movies that take place in time periods like this do, especially for the 80s. The 80s seem to be a very like reminiscent time period where they want to make the 80s its own character.
Mhm.
And yeah,
And you
I
don't
get it.
have to.
No, you don't have to. I get it. Like we wore weird things. We had all these amazing weird crazes, pet rocks and all that bullshit. And we had malls where people hung out and gathered and, which seems foreign in 2020, but at the same time like I didn't
Yeah.
need this scene. And shout out to Landmark Mall where that was filmed. I used to go there all the time.
It was a lot longer than it needed to be. They
Yeah.
could
Mhm.
have shaved at least 5 minutes off of that scene, put me back in Themyscira for those 5 minutes, and then given me the rest of that mall scene because it was a lot for
Do
no
you
reason.
Okay, do you think it was a lot because we also got, after Themyscira, we got like the little sightings of her being Wonder Woman without being Wonder Woman?
Well, that's what confused me. If you're not like fully trying to unveil that you're Wonder Woman to the world,
Mhm.
why show up in broad daylight in a mall? Like I
Mall.
understand you're saving people around DC. Like
Right.
the lady that fell over the thing. Yeah, okay, no one saw you save her. You
Right.
legit showed up in the middle of a broad daylight ass mall. Like I get that you took out the security camera so nobody could see you, but there's still
But all those
150
people
people
did.
watching you.
Yeah.
So why would you show up in your bright ass Wonder Woman outfit? Why not show up in a trench coat or something and hide or use your, super quick speed or your lasso to stop the crime without anyone seeing you?
Right.
Like
Yeah.
I understand you want to make it hopeful for this little girl that she like saved by throwing her out of the way, which was cute, but at the same
Yeah.
time, like, did we need that?
Also, second cutest kid scene in the entire
Wasn't
movie.
she adorable with her little
Like
glasses?
she was.
And there's some
I
other kid scenes that could have been cut.
Well, here's the thing.
Mm.
I don't understand. Let's just talk about casting here for a second while we're on the kids. The two young girls that played the little girl in the mall and as
Mhm.
well as young Diana, in my opinion, were absolutely stellar, fantastic child actresses.
Yes.
The little boy that they had play his son.
I have
Pedro
some
Pascal's
questions
son.
about the mom. I have some questions.
Yeah, apparently his name is Lucien Perez. So that I know when we were watching it, I was like, wait, so was the mom Asian? Because
Yes.
I'm looking at this little boy and he just looks very Asian
He
to me.
does. He does.
But he is a Latino.
Okay.
Either way, little brown boy,
Right.
Pedro's a little brown man. It works. Except either they gave this child shit to work with,
Yeah.
or he was just not a good actor. Or
Well,
both.
I mean, they kind of fed Pedro all the good lines, and not even the good lines. He just delivered them well. Like I enjoyed him as a character. I didn't enjoy his character arc.
That's because somebody told Pedro, hey, it's a comic book movie. And Pedro said, so eat all the scenery?
Yeah.
Got it.
They
And
were just
he
like, hey,
did.
ham it up all you want.
Yeah. And it
And
was
I appreciate
fantastic.
them. He was
Yeah.
great.
And see, and I think that is part of the problem. One of the biggest glaring problems. So, to our listeners and our fans, are the Glizzy Gladiator over here actually is a great friend and podcast co-host because he gets us gifts, and he got Manira and I these movie critic notebooks so that when we are doing reviews, we can actually like use them and review these stories, these movies. And the thing that kind of stuck out to me as I was like filling it out for this movie was like the acting overall, the cast, fantastic, right?
No, we call Kristen Wiig fantastic.
That's one of my big beefs. I enjoy her as an actress. Let's jump into Kristen Wiig.
But hold on, wait a second.
Okay.
Because the point that I'm making is they did the absolute best they could with the screenplay they were given. The problem for me is the screenplay. The lines were flat. I think that with a better script, Kristen Wiig is much better in this film. To your point, Pedro Pascal is Pedro Pascal. He's just going to eat that shit up either way.
Mm-hmm.
But when you stop, if you weren't watching him and you closed your eyes and you just listened to what he was saying, the script was fucking garbage.
Yeah.
My big issue with Kristen Wiig, who played Barbara Minerva, aka Cheetah, was that she was like, up until she got Wonder Woman powers, she was the Nutty Professor, like the Eddie Murphy version. And I was like, this is terrible.
Yeah.
I can understand if you're like an insecure person or an anxious person or just a big old dork, but you're a normal fucking human being.
Yeah.
Act like a normal human being.
The one time I actually believed her character was when she was giving the food to the homeless man. And when she was walking, I believed her character then because she genuinely was like, hey, I got to go. What's his name? But I wanted to give you this. Go ahead.
I'll say, speaking of that, like, where the fuck did the homeless man go after she beat the shit out of that guy? Like, he just shows up and then that's left completely open. Like, that and the way that they end things with her character, we'll get to that later, but like, I don't know, like her character arc is that, oh, I can't walk in heels, and now suddenly I'm popular and can walk in heels.
And the like streetwalker heels at that.
Yeah. Like good for you. I mean, that shit does look tough.
She looks fantastic. But
wouldn't catch me in those heels because I got bad ankles, but good for you.
You would tumble and fall. Good Lord.
Let's break that whole thing down even a little bit more though, because here is the thing that stuck out to me. Kristen Wiig is easily a size 3. All right? 4, 5 on a good day. So that means that this whole last time that you quote unquote couldn't walk in heels and were wearing basically homeless clothes, she looked fucking homeless.
Yeah, that was the other thing. They did that.
Like you weren't like this hot woman underneath. So basically, you just needed new clothes.
Yeah,
like,
it's not like she woke up. It's not like Peter Parker where he wakes up and he's got abs and suddenly his glasses. Like they did a Rachel Lee Cook and She's All That. Was it She's All That?
Right.
We're like, oh, she took out the ponytail and took off the glasses. Now she's hot.
Yeah,
she was hot the whole time. Like you stopped
but
dressing she stopped shopping at Lane Bryant in the 80s. Yeah.
That's what they did. They just took off the bobby pin, and instead of pulling the bangs back, they just let them flow to the side. And oh my God, she's hot. And now the Asian doctor that was basically scoffing at her is in her face.
With the double pop collar?
Yes. Like what is going on? What is going on?
You mean the guys that walk by and were like, fucking nerd.
Right.
Like,
but they work in the same department.
Is that how
Can we talk
humans
about
act?
that? Hold on, but can we talk about that for a second? The whole group were basically researchers and doctors at the fucking Smithsonian.
Yes.
So how is anyone walking past her like
everyone
nerd,
was
bitch, you work here too?
Yeah. Also, shout out to Kelly from Insecure for getting a big movie break. I was like, yeah, cool.
Also, that
wait. Can we, if we're going to talk about the fact that they all work at the Smithsonian, can we also talk about the scene that really didn't need to happen? And I was really trying to figure out why it was there when they all went to.
Which one? Because there's a bunch of them.
Well, when they all went to like the last Mayan to get his
Oh, you mean
information.
the Indian gentleman who
Yes.
his name is Ravi Patel.
Yes.
He is also a great actor and writer who wrote another movie called Meet the Patels, which is all about being an Indian American who is clearly Indian, but they decided to make him Mayan in this movie, have him in one scene, and for some odd reason,
Horrible wig. Horrible wig.
you have him in this one scene to basically give you a book, but you guys all work at the fucking Smithsonian
Yes.
in the antiquities department.
Yes.
You tell me you didn't have this book already?
Yes. Yes. Things that made me angry.
Yeah, I was like, you just
That.
needed this scene to find some guy on Craigslist?
Yes.
Where did you find this guy?
I want to better understand exactly how many extinct languages Diana speaks and
All
knows.
of them.
Well, I mean,
All of them.
she's pretty old, so I can
Right.
get
All
that.
of them.
No. Listen, pretty old and knowing fluent Latin.
She is
makes
also from
complete sense.
Themyscira, so Themyscira predates the Greeks, so
Yeah.
it makes sense.
So they were hanging out in South America or Central
Maybe.
America? Get the fuck out of here.
The island of Themyscira is pretty diverse. It's not just white women there, so
Yeah, where is it? Where is it exactly? Because once they got on the island, they didn't really go anywhere else. And when they show that flashback with the golden armor, those were clearly Roman soldiers.
They were.
So
well, yeah, white men.
exactly.
White men
yes,
ruin everything. We all know this.
right. So tell me exactly when she was in Central America learning
If
Mayan.
we're talking
they,
about
they have
white men,
people, they learn from teachers in Themyscira. Like that is the believable bit to me. Like that she would know,
Latin and stuff.
Latin
Yeah.
and
No, Latin,
dead languages.
yes.
Yeah,
Mayan, no. That's all I'm saying.
who knows? Like,
Can-
it's an ancient culture, so it's believable that they would have learned other languages like that.
Can we talk about the white man in the room? That big-faced, headed white man that they had playing Chris Pine? Can we talk about that?
You mean the gentleman who is actually an actor who is in a bunch of Hallmark movies?
I don't know that big-faced man, and I didn't appreciate that
Wait.
they put Chris Pine in his body.
Oh, you don't appreciate the fact that she basically date raped a man against his
Nope,
will because
don't appreciate that
she
either.
could see the face of her dead lover on him.
Yep, don't appreciate that either.
And he's
she
just
was
sitting
okay
back
with
in
it.
bed like, Pop-Tarts, this is awesome. I
And
also
she
don't
was okay
appreciate
with it.
yeah, I don't appreciate the fact that they basically role reverse them where he's the fish out of water now because
Yes.
he's never been to 1984.
Yes.
Like we saw this in the last movie. Why do I need to see it again?
Yeah, I don't like that they made that big-faced man Chris Pine. I don't like that she raped that gentleman. I don't like that then he came out of nowhere and was like, "Ooh, the scenery, it just makes sense." I'm like, "No, get your big face out of here.
Also,
I don't want to see
Right,
you."
that
could have had
scene-
this man
that
could have
scene
been
made no
killed
sense.
helping you.
Right.
Oh, you
I
mean the
just-
fireworks scene? Are we talking about that scene?
Oh my God.
Listen,
so
are we
many
doing
scenes that
that?
don't make sense.
We doing that?
Okay, one, that scene was forced as fuck. There's nowhere else in the movie where they mention that it's July 4th.
They do not.
You could
They
have
do
had
not.
you could have had a banner when she was in the mall saving shit. You could have had, 4th of July sale.
It's DC. You
it's DC,
know they would.
exactly. And all the time, especially they literally walk on the mall. You telling me
Mhm.
there's not one single American flag or like some
Mm-mm.
streamers or something? But then you get in this plane and suddenly it's July 4th and we're flying through fireworks for no reason. And especially if you're flying a plane, don't go through the fucking fireworks.
Do
Those are
not
small
go through-
explosives.
yes.
Go around the
Go
motherfuckers. You're a
around
pilot.
them.
And the whole
Ugh.
fact of her making the plane invisible was forced as fuck. Like, I
Yes.
get it. You need to hit this note. We need to see this invisible plane because it's a Wonder Woman thing. Some things don't translate.
They don't.
Okay, no. Wait. I needed them to make up their fucking mind. Is she gonna fly a fucking invisible plane? Because as for all we know, she doesn't actually know how to fly a plane. Or is she gonna fucking fly? Period. Because how are we doing both in one fucking movie?
Apparently,
Oh,
she flies now.
Oh, you mean the
Right?
janky running that she did and then the flying? Cause that scene, woo, that running in that sky, it was. I stopped it. FaceTime my boyfriend to say, "What is this? What are we doing?" And he was like, "Baby, just finish it. Just finish it, baby. Just finish it."
And also, not to dwell on the 80s, but you're going to do a movie, you're going to spend all of this time being in DC trying to make DC look like it's 1984, and the president doesn't look a fucking thing like Ronald Reagan.
I think you can skip that. It didn't need to be Ronald Reagan. It just needed to be Reagan-esque.
I don't think it was Reagan-esque enough.
I mean, you could have legit gotten a Ronald Reagan
Reagan-esque
impersonator to play him, but that's the other big thing. Like, where does everything like the problem with Wonder Woman, like the first one made sense. It took place in 1917 before we had Batman, we had Superman, we had all those other people. 1984, Batman would have been in his late teens if we're going from the Justice League Batman who's in his late 40s. Superman would have been a teenager as well. Where are they at? Like, oh,
High
were they
school,
not?
Eric,
If
what do you mean?
no, but if the thing at the end, the wish machine, that the particles and however the fuck they explained it away with bad writing, like they would have had wishes too. Bruce Wayne could have wished his parents back.
Yep.
Right.
Can we talk about that? The wish thing?
That's exactly what I was going to say. Yes, let's talk about it, because that's where I wanted to go.
Okay.
Next.
What god is it? Did we ever get that? Did we ever figure out
No.
what god that was?
They mentioned one of the trickster gods in
No,
Mayan
but she
culture.
never gave his name.
Yeah.
Right.
I think she does. I might have to watch it again with subtitles on, because I think she mentions it when she's reading the book that the man from Craigslist brought her. That wasn't in a museum, even though they are, studying antiquities. And what's her name is an expert in like 9 PhDs.
All of them, all of the everything.
The only PhD she doesn't have is in fucking heel walking.
Listen, you can only get that one
Just
or two ways,
in the
right,
streets.
Maria?
Just saying.
Yeah,
Just saying.
The wish machine, like I understand the whole thing of him basically becoming the wish master, and that part made sense. I did enjoy some of like the instant comeuppances, like when he's like, oh well, I'll take all your shares, and I'll make something bad happen to you, and then the police immediately show up. I was like, okay, that's kind of cool. It makes sense. I enjoy this. But then when he's like, tell me what you want, whole world, and everybody's like, I wish that bitch was dead, and she drops dead. Like, did she come back? We didn't see like her getting back up when everyone renounced their wish. Maybe that guy was just like, you know what? I don't want to renounce my wish.
Renounce it, right?
Fuck that bitch.
She can stay dead. But here's the thing too.
She was racist towards Irish people. Fuck her.
Like they're going through this, and then everybody starts renouncing their wishes, and he renounces his wish because he wants to save his lame ass son, which is all very nice.
You mean the one that he just happens to find in a bush immediately after he lands his chopper?
Right.
Like, hey kid, come on out of the bush.
Is this motherfucker not getting jail time? Like, you legit just destroyed the world, damn near.
The whole world saw you on TV.
Right. It's not like as people renounce their wishes, everything just magically went back to normal, because it still looks like fucking Armageddon. So there's definitely some after effects of all of this, and you're just
that giant wall in Egypt just happened to make a gigantic canal now. Do we not touch on this again? What happens Monday morning? Does Barbara show up to work and like, sorry, I tried to kill you, Diana. I was a cat lady.
I feel like Barbara's a cat now, right?
No,
they showed her. She turned back.
Yeah, she turns back at the end.
But like they
she
could have
real wet and real hairy. I thought she stayed that way.
Nope, she was just sloppy wet. Yeah, like they does she just show up back at work, and her and Diana keep working together now that she knows that Diana is Wonder Woman?
Wonder Woman's not gonna be like, Barbara, you were a cat. Fuck you. No.
Sorry, I electrocuted you.
Diana's just gonna be like, I mean, it was a Tuesday. It is what it is.
Yeah.
You got caught up.
Sorry,
I raped
tried
a guy,
to murder.
so
Sorry,
whatever.
I tried to murder you. You were being a real dick.
Right. It's fine. We all do silly things.
Do they go back to like having happy hour? Like, I'm very confused.
Okay, here's my issue with Barbara as a character. I enjoyed. Well, no, I don't even say that. I thought she made sense, but the whole fact of her character being in the movie was literally so that Wonder Woman had somebody to punch, because she can't punch Maxwell Lord. He's already falling. He's dying because he's doing all his wishes. And but like, it's just like the first movie. Like Patty Jenkins recently came out and mentioned that Wonder Woman, the first one, Warner Brothers made her go back and reshoot the ending to put in a big CG. I forgot the god that she has to fight. Ares. Yeah, because they were like, well, there's no big action finale, which made sense. Like it could have just been Steve Trevor, going off and blowing up and them stopping the bombs. But like, yeah, we need this big action movie finale for a CG fight against an 8-foot god. So with this one, it kind of felt the same way, but it felt way more forced with her just being there to protect Maxwell Lord. It didn't make any fucking sense.
Yeah. I don't know. I did she half-heartedly fought Barbara because obviously she didn't want to hurt Barbara. She actually really liked her. And she didn't fight Maxwell because
She couldn't. It wasn't a fair fight.
Right.
Like he couldn't physically stop her.
Right,
It's Wonder
yeah.
Woman. She could have plucked him out of the way. Like she
Yeah.
could have done what she did to that drunk man and kicked the shit out of him.
Listen, that was necessary. He
That's
came
like
back
the
for
only
some
thing in this
more.
movie I really agree with. Like, yeah, kick cat collars in the chest, kick him across the
Yes.
fucking
I
room.
mean, but also he should have been dead. So the fact that he had an opportunity to get beat the fuck up a second
A second time.
Mhm.
How is this man not dead?
Go home, you
How is
drunk
he
old
not
Men.
dead?
man.
Men, you know how men do.
He was
He's
coming for
fueled by
more.
sexism
Yes, he was.
and rye.
And booze.
Yeah. Yeah.
Are we beating a dead horse? Is it dead
No,
yet?
the problem with this movie is that it felt like story-wise, it felt like a 90s superhero movie where they didn't
Yeah.
have the big budget for CG and all that. And like, so they had to kind of make it cheesy and over the top. This felt like Batman Forever with Jim Carrey. Like Pedro Pascal's character was very Jim Carrey, the Riddler, but like
Mhm.
a little bit toned down. But like this is
Not by
2020.
much. Yeah.
This is 2020. And one, you had the previous Wonder Woman, which is amazing. Probably next to Shazam, my favorite of the DC movies.
Yeah.
Yep.
But like
Yeah.
you had so much potential and you missed it on every level because there's pacing issues all over the place. The movie is 2.5 hours. You could have easily cut 15 to 20 minutes of that.
I have a question for that. Is this the original that we were supposed to see in theaters, or
Yeah,
is
there's no cuts. This is
There's
what they put
no
out.
cuts.
Yeah.
Yikes.
So I just want to go on the record.
Like there's no word of a director's cut. Patty Jenkins isn't a release the Snyder cut kind of person.
Right.
Okay, but I just want to go on the record right
Ooh.
now. And I'm not looking for any type of validation. I only want to mention it that a couple weeks ago when we were talking about all of the Star Wars shows and Patty Jenkins getting a show and everybody being really excited. And I recall being like, I don't know about this one because I don't want fucking Top Gun Star Wars. And I'm a little worried. Now I'm not a little worried. Now I'm a lot fucking worried because what I thought would happen was Wonder Woman 84 would come out. It would be fucking amazing. I'd realize that I was being a big ass baby and it was going to be fine and it would be great. And after watching this basic dumpster fire, which is pretty much what this damn near was for me, I am incredibly concerned about her taking on a Star Wars show.
I'm more worried if she is writing it as well as directing it because she's proven she's a very capable director.
Yeah.
Writer, not so much.
She didn't write the first one though, did she?
No, she did
The
not.
first, and it shows because
Yeah.
her buddy Jeff Johns and Dave Callahan, who
Like
did the
Jeff
screenplay
Johns,
with them.
I am more disappointed in because Jeff Johns
This
is
is
a
terrible.
former professional comic book writer. The man is famous for his runs on Green Lantern and Teen
Mhm.
Titans and like DC characters. DC characters, and this is what you give us. So I don't know if maybe like part of it was his draft and part of it was her rewrites or the other way around. But
It's bad.
Yeah,
It's just bad.
They
not even
needed
that.
somebody to
It's-
come in and do some cuts.
It's not
and they
just
didn't.
bad, it's underwhelming. Because like I
Yeah.
could watch this, like if I was watching this, like this is like how I feel about Thor 2, The Dark World. Like where I enjoyed Thor 1, I don't think it's great. I love Wonder Woman 1. But
Mhm.
like this, like if someone else were to come in and do Wonder Woman 3 and it would be completely tonally different, kind of like Ragnarok was. Ragnarok is a word that I can say. Like Ragnarok, I would enjoy it because I feel
No, it
like
was
they're
Fraggle
on a-
Rock. It was Thor Fraggle Rock. It's fine.
if someone edited Thor Fraggle Rock, oh, I'm in. Like, just get Taika Waititi to do Thor Fraggle Rock, where everyone is Muppets. I'm in there.
Oh, that would be amazing.
Yeah,
She can still direct. I just don't think she was this writing
She's
thing is her
not
thing.
right.
This
No,
is very much a
because-
Zack Snyder issue, where Zack Snyder is a great director and has his own unique style, love it or hate it, but like he's a terrible writer.
I mean, because the thing about it is like visually, it's pretty. It's exactly what I
Can we talk
expected
about
from
the
her.
biggest elephant in the room here?
Go ahead.
Mm.
For a
There-
Wonder Woman
there-
movie that is 2.5 hours, there is a very sparse amount of Wonder Woman action.
Yeah.
Mm.
There's
Yeah.
the games at the beginning, immediately followed by the mall scene,
Mm-hmm.
and then it's almost an hour before she's back in Wonder Woman gear, which is when she's in Egypt.
Yeah.
Yep.
She's got to sleep with Steve.
Yeah, and then like there's too much. Like, I get it. But it's been like 70 years. Get
Yeah.
over that white man.
Well, it's Chris Pine, and I I, like Diana, would be like, hold on a minute.
You gonna hold that flame for 70 years?
God, no, not
But
70
wait a second.
years.
Like
But wait,
70 years, and she is essentially a Mediterranean supermodel.
hold on.
Bitch,
Time out
get
a
you some
second,
new
though.
dick.
Well, no, but she did get new dick because the thing that killed me about this whole
That is
thing,
new dick.
Well, that
Is
and yeah,
that
she date
it's
raped this
not-
man without his knowing.
right? It's not like the guy physically transformed.
Right.
No, only
No.
she could see him
He
as Steve
saw
Trevor.
him
Yes.
exactly as Steve Trevor, but otherwise,
Everybody else saw that big-faced man.
Yeah, like what did that man get fired
Ugh.
for the week or so that she's hanging out with her version of Steve Trevor?
Seemed fine when she saw him again. He seemed quite all right.
So does she go with him now? She's like,
No,
oh well,
no,
close
I
enough.
don't. I better not see that big-faced man ever again. Ever again. I'm
I
telling
believe-
you.
I believe in the official casting crew, he is listed as like handsome man.
No, he is not.
oh, he is. His name is Christopher Palaha.
Yeah,
and
he's
he
listed
is
as handsome man.
handsome man.
Who is
Handsome
his
man.
agent? Because they are doing the Lord's work or they owe somebody.
That man has a come up because, like I said,
Right.
he is in nothing but like Hallmark Channel
Handsome
movies, and
man.
even that ending was very much a Hallmark ending.
Handsome man. That big-faced man is being called handsome man.
He was in
Well, listen.
Small Town Christmas, Rocky Mountain Christmas, all sorts of shit.
He was also on
Man.
Hearts of Christmas.
Well, but he did do a stint on Ballers. Give him-
Madam,
He had one
No.
episode on Ballers.
madam.
He was
Handsome
also-
man.
Double Holiday
He was also on Castle and on the Lethal Weapon series.
and Rizzoli and Isles and Hawaii
He is
Five-O.
big-faced Ophi
Yeah.
white man. That should have been his title. Handsome man.
They should just
well,
write it in
listen.
there as unassumed hookup for Wonder Woman.
Look,
Right.
look, you better get used to him because he's going to be in the Jurassic World movie. So
Doing
No, no,
what?
he is in the Jurassic
Jurassic World Dominion.
Dominion, playing a character named Wyatt Huntley.
He
So
better
get
be
ready for
eaten
it.
He
by
sounds like
something
someone who's gonna
big
get
and
eaten by a
terrible
dinosaur, yeah.
right now. I cannot stand him.
Wyatt, go turn on the generators. Nom, 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 nom.
Right. God. No,
Either that
I
or
don't
he's-
want to see him or anymore. I don't want to see his big
The
face
name
anymore.
Wyatt sounds like a slick business type that is still also
Mhm.
going to get eaten by a dinosaur.
When he was in the mirror and Chris Pine was like, "Ooh, yeah," I'm like, Chris, you must be looking at yourself because no, what I'm looking at is not.
Yeah, when he's like, what about this guy? He's handsome. And I'm like, no.
No. Have you seen you? No. You picked
No.
you picked the wrong guy. You picked the wrong guy. Handsome man.
That's his name. He has no other name.
Give him a name.
I'm so now I'm extremely angry at Patty Jenkins. Handsome man.
Yeah, I don't know. There's so many pacing issues and so many.
No.
It's a letdown. And it's more of a letdown because it's not unequivocally bad. Like I could watch this if I were
Right.
watching a Wonder Woman
Right.
marathon of like the
Yep.
3 movies eventually. Like I'd be like, oh, okay, well, this is the least good of the 3, but it's still okay to watch in order. It's like, some of the lesser good Marvel sequels like Thor: The Dark World.
Ooh, I've seen that once and only once.
And
No,
honestly, I
twice.
kind of like The Dark
Twice.
World. It's when
I
they
was like,
started.
I like the Dark
They started
World.
experimenting a little bit with humor, but at the same time, they were still a little melodramatic with Thor and what's her name,
Jane.
Jane, yeah.
I only liked it because of Loki not being able to see his mom's funeral and then throwing a holy fit
Yeah.
and then pretending like he didn't until Thor was like, come
Turn
on.
off your hologram, bro. I
Right.
know you're sad.
And then you see the whole room and he's just sitting in the corner like, yeah, I tore it up.
And his
What?
hair is all messed up. It's like, come on, bro. Conditioner.
That is the only reason I like
I
that
just-
movie.
We're Odin's
I-
sons.
I
We're known
feel-
for our luscious hair.
I feel like even the pacing was one issue, but then the actual dialogue on top of the pacing was horrible.
Well, that
Like
and
I am no one's writer.
ramifications.
I could have, yeah.
The ramifications of this movie, like this takes place in 1984, and they're already talking about a part 3. Is it going to be Wonder Woman 99, and she has to stop the Y2K bug? Like, when are you going to bring Wonder Woman into modern context? And I feel like Patty Jenkins is doing this on purpose so that she doesn't have to address the bullshit from the Zack Snyder movies. She can still have Wonder Woman in her own little world that's not touched by all the bullshit from them.
Well, I
Well,
mean,
but
like, wouldn't you? Do you blame her? Like,
No, I definitely don't.
But let's talk about some of the bullshit though, because you want to avoid that bullshit, but you're creating your own bullshit with this heavy-handed ass messaging that you're giving us in this
Yeah,
film.
it got very heavy-handed.
yeah,
It was
Like, I
was-
understand the 80s
ugh.
and the Cold War and like the threat of nuclear destruction and
the oil.
oil
Being
and
oil
greed of the
crazy.
80s.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like, we know we were there. We have Wikipedia. I know what happened in the 80s. I saw Wall Street. Like,
was alive
give me
then.
something. Give me something
Yeah.
else. Like, it didn't have, like, in its attempts to be a hopeful movie to give you hope for society, it ruined it. The first one
No,
made me more hopeful.
wait. You know what it was? It was a 2.5 hour Jesus and the Church of Latter-day Saints fucking infomercial. That's what it felt like when you got to the end of it. It was heavy-handed as fuck. And it's fine for superhero movies to have a message. I
Yeah,
want
they
them
should
to have
be
a
hopeful.
message. They should be hopeful. But I was literally just waiting at the end when he's hugging his son for like the little logo that used to come up on those Mormon commercials to like pop up in the corner, like, oh, because that's all you need. It's just, not to be selfish and believe in yourself.
I was expecting, like,
Ugh.
when he
Ugh.
renounced his wish, then everything got renounced, and it
Yeah.
went back to the day before he got the stone. Everything before that, like, just wiped clean.
Well, that's
and that would've been
normally
fine.
what happened. Okay.
Yeah.
But fun fact, in just about any other movie, cartoon, wherever, where you are dealing with a Wishmaster type character and wishes get announced or whatever, that's exactly what happens.
Yeah.
So clearly,
That's what makes logical sense.
Yeah, because it makes fucking sense. So clearly, between Jeff Johns and Patty Jenkins and Dave Callahan, none of them have ever fucking seen a movie with wishes gone awry and seen how they're actually reversed.
Yeah.
Because that's not how you do it. Like, it was
This
just,
makes sense if, like, Wonder Woman wasn't attached to an extended universe.
Yeah.
right.
If Wonder Woman
right.
was its own thing, then yeah, that makes
Right.
sense. We can touch on it in the next movie. Everybody remembers the Wish Day or whatever the fuck. But this one, like,
Not
you
Wish
get
Day.
to 2015, you're like, hey, nobody mentioned the Wish Day in Man of Steel or in Batman versus Superman or
Yeah.
Justice League. Somebody could have been like, hey, Diana, do you know where that Wish Stone is? Maybe we can use that to stop Darkseid's friend.
Yeah. So what happened to that? Did it just?
Yeah, like, I was expecting when he hugs his son, like, maybe he dissolves because the Wish Stone is gone or whatever.
Right.
He turns into the Wish Stone, and, like, maybe there's a cutaway for a third movie where another bad guy picks it up, or whoever the god that created it picked it up.
Or the
Right.
stone like falls out his pocket when he runs up to his son. Like,
Yeah.
Something. Yeah.
Yeah,
So we don't
it's-
know.
It's left open almost as much as like had they, like, tried to make Barbara again a good person, like, they could have gone back to her and shown her back at the park, like, feeding her homeless friend to tell us, okay, she was corrupted by the stone and the power, but she's really still a good person.
Right.
No, it's just like, oh, well, she's sitting watching the sunset and she's sad.
So then, okay. So
yeah, exactly. What was she sad about, by the way? Was
Right.
she sad
'Cause she got her
because
ass
of
kicked.
Ugly. Right. Was she sad because she got her ass kicked? Was she sad because she got electrocuted? Was she sad because she lost her fur and was no longer an ugly Catwoman?
Yeah.
What
Maybe
exactly what was she sad about?
She's not sure if she can still walk in heels.
she was not cute as a hybrid.
Cheetah?
Yeah.
I thought
And
the-
that's
It
another
didn't look
thing.
good.
I thought it looked okay. I didn't like the fact that her face just looked like she had on makeup, but the rest of her body was like a cat.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It was.
Yeah, because Cheetah actually looks like a fucking cheetah. Like,
Yeah, like, at least
Yeah.
give her, like, an animal nose or something, or
Mhm.
yeah. I feel like they got the body right, and then they toned it down on the face to make sure that you knew that it was Kristen Wiig.
And you don't need to, because
You
we've
don't.
been with her the whole time. You're not going to introduce somebody new. Like,
Not to mention, Cheetah is one of, like, Wonder Woman's biggest bad guys, and, like, you're gonna write her off after a single movie. Like, I understand not killing the character, but, like, at least show her still as Cheetah, like, escaping somewhere. Like, save her for another movie.
No,
or
because
save her.
tomorrow she's gonna be over there and she's gonna be waiting for Diana for happy hour. Diana's gonna come and they're gonna have to talk about it.
Well, I mean,
Right, they're going to talk
even if
about
she's
homie with the
still
pop collars.
if she's
Mhm.
still Cheetah, like just show her like, oh, I'm still Cheetah woman, but I put on my heels and I went to dinner. I went to brunch with Diana again because we had a nice brunch at this rooftop
Also,
place in DC.
can we also, while we're talking about their wonderful happy hour relationship,
Mhm.
can we talk about how fucking condescending Diana actually was to Barbara Minerva?
Yeah,
Like
she
before,
she legit didn't give a shit until she needed her fucking help.
right? Like,
Mhm.
and we're gonna forget about all of that because
No.
because in the first movie they did a very good job of making her someone who truly did care about everyone she came in contact with,
Mhm.
like, you know, hey, we need to talk, we need to be friends, blah blah blah. And to Eric's point, she literally treated Barbara Minerva like the girl I'm going to get my answers to this calculus test from. Like,
Yeah.
oh
Yeah.
girl, nah,
She was
that
like,
barrette looks
here,
good
here's your
today.
papers, nerd. Oh, wait, I need your help. Come back, nerd. Help me with this.
Right.
I will buy you a drink.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I mean, it
no.
was what?
Yeah. I I think we were supposed to be like blinded by the fact that she misses Steve so much that she just can't be
That she's
the
going to be a
girl.
bitch?
Yeah,
Oh,
basically.
okay.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah.
I mean,
okay, so apparently she was just dick whipped for 70 years because she named a ranch after him.
she did.
I did like the fact that when she's like explaining how she's old as fuck and they show all the photos in her album in her office, they had the one photo with her and Etta Candy from the first movie as an old woman.
Mhm.
I was like,
Mhm.
that's cute. You
That
know,
is
you
That
kept
I
on
like.
that friendship.
Mhm.
Like, because I was wondering where she was going to fit into the new one. But,
Mhm.
you know, clearly it's
Dead. She was gonna fit
1984.
dead.
She might be dead or she, you know, close because she was, you know, in her 20s or 30s in 1917. So, yeah, it lines up. I
Mhm.
thought that was a nice touch, but like, where's the rest of that? Like, give me some more flashbacks to like from the 30s and 40s and 50s up to like where was
She's
Wonder
never
Woman
had
during
any friends.
where was Wonder Woman during the Civil Rights era?
She never had any friends. She
Oh,
wasn't
I can
there.
tell
You
what do you
couldn't
mean? I
make
can
a
tell you where
friend with
she
Dr.
wasn't.
Martin Luther King and stop him from
Wait,
getting
wait,
killed?
No.
Wait, let me tell you
Where the
where she
fuck was Wonder
wasn't.
Woman during that?
I can tell you where she wasn't. She wasn't down in Selma marching.
She was not. She
She
was
was
not.
not. She
No.
was not hanging out with Uncle Bernie
No, she was
doing them
not.
marches. She wasn't
Nope.
doing none of that shit.
She
She
was
was
not.
in her
No.
room moping over her dead pilot.
She
I guess.
was.
Yep.
Yes. Yes. After she used all the money that she amassed because she's old and
Yeah.
bought a ranch because reasons. Just reasons.
I have to name it after my boyfriend who's been dead for many, many years,
Just reasons.
who I
Yeah.
knew for a week.
They didn't do her any justice. That accent. You gotta cool it with that accent.
Right, because I'm not sure what you're doing. It is definitely not Israeli.
It is
Sir,
not.
I need you to go watch some Israeli movies or something.
Nope.
It is not
In my
Israeli.
head, she sounds like Melania Trump.
Oh,
They're not even the same.
yikes.
No, they're not even. No, no.
Just go back
The
and
views-
watch it again, and you'll see.
The views
No, I
expressed
won't.
by
Stop.
Eric. Listen, the views expressed by Eric about Melania Trump and Gal Gadot are not those of the rest of the.
I don't care.
Concentrated Podcast group.
Only one of those two people is going to have a job in a month.
Yikes!
I mean, only one of them really has a job now.
all right. Getting back to Wonder Woman.
Listen, allegedly, because I think one of them has a job, but it's not the job that we all know she has. Anyways.
Yikes.
Anyways.
All right. So I think that we can pretty much wrap this up.
Yeah, we've been off the rails.
Anybody listening or watching should have the idea right now that we were all pretty disappointed with this movie. I personally, I would give it overall a 3. And I only am giving it a 3 because there are some performances like Pedro Pascal was amazing. You know, it does look like the 80s, although we were watching it with our brother and he did point out the fact he was real chill the whole movie until guns started coming out that didn't fucking exist in 1984. And he was most displeased with
That's
that.
his life.
I would say, well, not just that. Anyone who watched the movie would have looked at it and been like, LaFont Plaza, Silver Line. What are you doing, Patty? You couldn't get one person who was alive in the 80s and lived in DC to be like, that's not where that goes.
Yeah, you can't be in there with the Silver Line. There was no Silver Line back then. I mean, hell, back in the 80s, you didn't even have the complete yellow and green lines. So For those
Right,
of
now
us
we're
that are from
nitpicking.
the area,
Now we're nitpicking.
now
What are
we're
we
being
doing?
a
Is
little
it
nitpicky.
nitpicking, or is it something you could easily like Google?
Mhm.
It's nitpicking.
This isn't like this
we
isn't
picked the
nitpicking
whole-
the
we
first
picked
one
the
where we're like,
whole
oh,
carcass of that
they didn't
movie.
have those type of can openers in 1917. No, this is like, hey, we had color TV, and there are people alive that still live. Hell, I was alive in 1984. Like nothing. You couldn't
Fix
Google
your
that.
face.
You couldn't get one person from DC to be like, oh no, that didn't go there at that time. Okay, we'll fix that.
He's not wrong though, because there was some of that with the
Especially when you have a
Watergate, where
200
she
million plus
lived as
budget.
well, but whatever. Just saying.
All right, wrap it up. Wrap it up. Wrap it up.
Oh, no, it was that. And then one last thing. Never, ever, ever in the history of the motherfucking Smithsonian Air and Space Museum is there somebody in a full astronaut costume
Yeah, that was
walking
bullshit.
around that bitch talking to you.
Ever.
We went to that motherfucker
Ever.
every year. When you go to school in Prince George's County, Maryland, every goddamn year there is a field trip to the Air and Space Museum. You know what we ain't never fucking seen? A damn astronaut walking around that bitch.
Nope. And I love the Air and Space Museum.
Oh, listen, not my favorite. I'm more of a natural history. Like the museum that she actually worked in is my favorite museum.
Mhm.
But I digress. Like for there are enough people who have been to that museum or who lived in this
I
area
was like,
that
apparently
was
the
just
Natural History Museum was just full of fucking Mean Girls style, scientists.
Yes, apparently.
I mean,
can't be
don't you get that
can't-
vibe?
Yeah,
Right.
that's what I think when I think gemologist.
All right, so I give this movie overall a 3. It's definitely not the worst DC movie,
No,
but it's
it's
nowhere near the
watchable.
best. Yeah,
It's one of those
watchable.
things where you'll watch it and be like, oh, okay, that was a thing that happened. I will watch this again, maybe if it's on TV while I'm folding clothes, or if I'm
Yep.
doing like a marathon of DC movies.
Yeah.
Other than that,
Agreed.
I don't yearn to watch this again anytime soon.
No.
I give it a 4 for Chris Pine. No, I give it a 3.5. A 3.5. Most of that 3 is Chris Pine, and the half is Pedro Pascal. Just
I give
doing
Chris
it.
Pine credit because he played the fish out of water well, but
He
also
did.
like he seemed to be having a genuinely good time. And
Mhm.
even when he didn't know what the fuck he was doing, he was just sitting back eating Pop-Tarts and
Mhm.
waving his fanny pack around.
Mhm.
Yeah, he does fish out of water pretty good.
Yeah, I enjoyed him. I didn't enjoy everything else that was going on.
That big fat handsome man, apparently.
Well, that and like she kept putting him in danger. Like, bitch, this is not his body.
It is not.
If he
is
dies, is
not.
he just gonna pop him in somebody else's body on some body snatcher shit? You killed Big
I
Face Man.
wonder. Listen, Big Face Man could have stood to die.
Also,
Well, also-
as we're wrapping up the Linda Carter scene,
Mhm.
fuck out of here.
Oh.
Linda Carter deserved better than that.
She
The
did.
story deserved better than that. Like
It did make me smile. I like
No.
It
seeing
did
her.
not. It didn't make me smile.
it was a literal wink
Okay.
and nod.
I
like-
winked and nod right back.
She was like, "Hey, I've been doing this a while." Wink.
And I was like,
Get
you
it?
have. Wink.
Like she should have been in the first one. Everyone knows that. Everyone has said that for a while, and I don't know why she wasn't. But like, you could have made her a badass older Themysciran woman. Give her
Yeah.
more like. It's not like Lou Ferrigno showing up in Incredible Hulk movies as like a security guard or random buff dude. Like he's not he's not doing something strong and then being like, yeah, I've done this before. That wink and nod bullshit isn't really annoying. And I felt like it's like if Linda Carter would have shown up in the shitty Wonder Woman show that only did a pilot, which I think she might have. It was terrible. I tried to block it out of my head that show's terrible, but like they do this all the time. It's like if Adam West showing up in Batman in like in The Dark Knight Returns or The Dark Knight Rises, and if he like suddenly if he threw something at someone and he was like, "Oh, good job, old chum," like what? Get out of here,
I
Adam
would have
West.
loved that. Stop it.
I don't think
would
Christopher
cheese, so.
Christopher Nolan would not have stood for that shit.
No, he would not have. No, he
He
would
would have been
not
like, "Get this old man off my set. I don't know him.
Also,
I'm a serious filmmaker. I only make movies for theaters. Get out of here."
Also, I'm just gonna put this out there.
Say
And
what
I
I just said, but
know-
with a British accent.
No, I can't.
Also,
do
I'm
that.
just gonna put this out there.
I'm gonna put this.
That's what
We were-
Christopher Nolan sounds like.
We were watching the Snatch show earlier today, which is pretty damn good. So maybe there's a.
It only got
British
2
accent
seasons.
coming. Oh, so it's done.
Yeah, they did 2 seasons, then it's over. Unfortunately.
But Ron Weasley, I love it. Okay.
Yeah,
anyway,
I like the adventures of adult Ron Weasley.
they're amazing. No, but what I was gonna say is Linda Carter to be in her 60s, knowing what my mom looked like in her 60s before she
Looks
passed.
fantastic.
You thought so? Because I thought she looked like shit. Like
Oh my God.
my mother-in-law and her are the same age, and my mother-in-law next to her is a hot old lady. Like,
She is also white. Well, isn't
She
she?
looks like she might have had a little work done.
She's
I think that's the problem that I had. She looks like she had
her
work
work.
done, and her
Mm.
work makes her face look not
Well,
real.
that and they like instead of like showing it from a little far back, like they straight up. Got it
Yeah,
in
it's
there.
right up on her face. She had a big face. All right, I don't need Linda Carter 3D in my
Yeah,
face.
she just popped up and was like, "Congratulations, I saved your baby." Wink.
That's what her face looked like.
I'm that lady from that thing they mentioned, guys.
All right.
Wink.
Yeah, they did my girl dirty. And I don't know if it was maybe the makeup job on top of the shitty work that she's gotten done, but she looked like trash to me, and I would have
Aw.
preferred
Well, I
that
wouldn't say
they
trash.
Right. I
I
didn't
would,
think she
I
looked
would have
that
said maybe
bad.
don't focus so
Jesus.
much on her face and zoom the hell in. Like,
well,
I think she just looked like a white woman that,
Pretty
they
much.
ate like
Well-
bananas a little bit.
well, I think it would have been better. So remember how they did it in Mulan? That it was
Yes.
not like right in your face, but
These
those
are-
of us,
These
you
are
know,
different
if
women.
you know,
These
I
are
I
mean,
was
different women.
Ming Na is 50 plus and
Right.
is
These are
still could
different
get it.
she looks,
women.
yeah, Ming Na is hot, but still, even the way that they shot it, it's like you got the nod. If you know, you know, and it was subtle. The way that they did this
Yeah.
was cheesy, and it felt forced, and it was way too close to her screen, to the screen, because I could see every fucking
I was
wrinkle
like,
on that
I
lady's
saw
face.
Ming Na kick a dude into space last week on
She
The
did.
Mandalorian. She
She
looked
did.
amazing.
And now she's
I
sipping spotchka.
I love
Yep.
her. I love her so much. But you get what I'm
No,
saying.
listen,
They did her dirty.
I don't think that you were going to get anything good after we saw the movie. Like
Oh yeah,
No,
there's that.
if it would have been like a teaser for part 3 and like they were setting her up to be the new big bad because everyone thinks she's dead but she's really still alive. And
Mhm.
it would have been something more badass where she was like, "Oh, I saved your baby. Now I take your soul." Like
are you McG from Charlie's Angels?
maybe.
I don't know.
Demi,
I kind of like.
when they brought back Demi Moore, she looked great.
Or- Yeah, she did look great.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm kind of digging what Eric's selling over here. So
Yeah. Make Linda Carter the bad guy. That'd be fucking awesome.
Had they have had her like in the Smithsonian walking around just touching things, and we saw like her hands and it just traveled up
Nope,
and
she just
then
happened
like the
to.
side of her face and then it just cut off, that would have been good. Like
Nope.
we would have been
If-
like, who?
If it would have been her like showing up on that little island where the satellite was and like picking up the pieces of the armor and be like, "Oh, bitch, this is mine," and then disappear, like roll credits, boom, I'm fine.
there were so many other ways they could have done it instead of giving us a very unrealistic, some fucking 500-pound shit is falling and she catches it and saves
No,
a baby.
you know what
and
sucks?
no one thinks anything of it. And she's just like, oh, it's
Yeah,
just,
I caught a whole ass
just a
telephone
wait
pole with
around.
one hand.
What?
It felt like
What?
something that should be on like one of the CW shows, like the first
Yes.
few seasons where it was
Yes.
still
Yep.
really cheesy. That's what that scene felt like. Like that's the last episode of a season before the next season starts, and they're setting
Yeah.
up
Yep.
something.
Yep. All right. Well, listen, guys, if you haven't seen it,
Which they
don't take
did
our
that with
word for it.
with Linda Carter.
Hey,
They
hey,
did it on
hey.
Supergirl, and she was the president. They literally did that.
Okay, guys. Like I was
no
saying-
guys, just Eric.
No,
Just
guys
saying.
is our listeners. Eric, shut the
Oh.
fuck up.
You shut up.
If you guys haven't seen it, you should watch it. We wouldn't tell
Yeah.
you not to watch it. You should definitely watch it and form your own opinion. We just didn't love it. And now we're worried about what'll happen with Wonder Woman 3.
Not.
Yeah. The
I
worst
mean-
part about it is that it's so forgettable.
Mhm,
Yeah.
mhm. Yeah, it really is. It
Like,
really
had I
is.
seen this in the theaters, I'd probably be a little bit more upset about it being not as great as it could be, especially after the first one. Because had this been in the theaters, I would have watched part 1 and then immediately gone to the theaters to see part
Yep.
2.
Yep.
think
And you
I-
would have left angry.
Mhm.
I think that I'm less angry because it's new media and we don't have a lot of that going on. So
Stop it. Okay. It's not very often that I call out my beautiful co-host on her bullshit, but I'm calling bullshit. Bitch, the only reason you're not mad about it, the only reason you're not mad about it is because you watched Soul. So you're like, oh, fuck it. I already saw a good movie.
You
this
are
week.
not wrong.
No,
You are
okay.
not wrong.
I think I'm more mad about it because when the trailers came out, I was super hyped about this, and it suffers from that thing where they show you all the coolest shit in the trailer,
In the
and then,
trailers.
then those things happen in the movie, but there's no context for them.
Yeah.
Like when I saw the trailer and Wonder Woman was literally lassoing lightning and shit, I was like, this is fucking badass. And then when you see it in the movie, it's like, well, why? You can fly, I guess,
Right.
but like
There was
you
no
la-
reason to lasso lightning.
yeah, you lasso
None.
that lightning for what? You like
Yeah.
there's this whole scene where you learn to fly for no reason, and then you do like the classic 1980s Christopher Reeves flying poses. I was like, this would have fit better in, like, it felt very Richard Donnery, like Richard Donner Superman 1 and 2. That's what this felt like with a way bigger budget. Because back then, like, you could have had a bullshit fight like that really didn't have any impact. You could have had all these things. Like, just think of Superman 3, which is the one with Richard Pryor. Is that 3 or
Superman 3?
Yeah,
3.
where there's this big global event, but like it really doesn't mean shit.
Yeah.
It felt like a bad Richard Donner movie. And if I remember correctly, Richard Donner only did part of 3.
All right. Well, guys, those are our thoughts. I think this is pretty much the
No
point
disrespect to the Richard Donner Supermans. If you enjoy
Eric,
them,
shut the fuck up. I'm trying to transition.
I'm just saying, if you enjoy the Richard Donner Superman
He's
films,
not going to let me transition.
this is similar to that. So go into it knowing that it's similar in that tone.
What are you transitioning to?
You're grab bag, bitch.
I don't
Did
think
we
we have
have?
anything.
Right.
All right, well, no grab
That's why
bag.
you're talking.
Well, look, no. I thought because I know
I'm
that
checking right now to see the.
I say because I
Superman
know
movies.
that Corey said something on Twitter, but I don't think he was
he
just
said
asking.
anything.
I don't
Yeah.
No,
yeah, I
he
think
was asking about the weekly topic talk, which nobody put up because it was Christmas, or Christmas Eve.
Spoiler alert. Corey didn't mind this movie. I saw it on Facebook.
Well, I talked to him and he was wondering because he had read a bunch of reviews that basically said what I said about it, but I was trying to be positive at the same time. Like, hey, I don't really listen to reviewers. I try to watch something first because I feel like if I read a review, then I'll go into the movie with that reviewer's opinions in my head and I'll be looking for the flaws that they looked for. I prefer to watch it on my own first and then make my own opinions and then maybe read a review afterwards to see if they also agreed on the same things that I enjoyed or didn't enjoy, which it seems like a lot of people felt the same way.
I owe an apology to one Michael L. Ayala, who I was texting with Christmas Day before I saw this. And I was like, yeah, I'm getting ready to watch it. And he's like, don't bother. Go watch Soul. It's better.
Soul
and
is
I was
better.
like, no, hold on. And I literally was like, my sweet little baby cousin is on crack. There's no way that Soul is better than Wonder Woman. And then I watched Wonder Woman and I don't even need to watch Soul yet to already know it's going to be better than... All right, I digress. All right,
Like I
guys,
said,
well, listen.
I read a lot of mixed. I saw a lot of mixed like headline reviews, and I was like, all right, well, I'm gonna avoid these anyway because I just want to go into it fresh.
Yeah.
And I can understand why a lot of people will be mixed on it.
Yeah. All right, guys. Well, as always, we want to thank you for listening. If you like the episode, please rate us, drop a review, subscribe to the podcast, or subscribe to our YouTube channel. Tell your friends, do all of those good things. You can also follow us on Twitter and Instagram to just chat about, well, whatever. And also, we do normally do episode updates.
I love episodes.
No, we're doing episodes now.
Love them.
We do episode updates about the drops and things like that on our social media as well. Our handle on both is @ConcentratedPod. Next week, we're going to be reviewing what Manira has already told us multiple times is a much better movie that I have not watched yet. Well, 2. We're going to be reviewing Disney Pixar's new movie Soul. And we are also going to be talking about Canvas, correct?
Netflix Canvas.
Yeah, the Netflix short
Netflix
Canvas.
Canvas. So if you guys have had an opportunity to check them out or you're going to check them out this week, definitely drop a line and let us know what you thought about them. You can do that through the social media that we've already given you, or you can always send us an email. Our email address is concentratedpodcast@gmail.com, or you can do it on our Facebook page, which is just Concentrated Podcast. And lastly, you can leave us a voicemail. I'm kind of surprised. I was actually expecting some folks to leave us voicemails this week, but no one did.
It was
if
Christmas.
you'd like to, yeah, I mean, listen, everything is Christmas, right? But if you do want to leave us a voicemail, oh my god, if you do want to leave us a
All
voicemail,
right,
you can
fine.
do that at 301 531 4393. Again, that is 301 531 4393. That is it for this week, guys. Technically, our next episode will be in the new year. So, Happy New Year, and we will talk to you guys next week.
Happy New
Yep.
Year. Yay.
Peace.
Bye, guys.
Bye.